Sometimes in video games, you're presented with two options: be good or be naughty. Now, I'm not talking about games like Grand Theft Auto or Red Dead Redemption, where that's an essential part of the game. I'm talking about games that expect you to do the right thing, but give you enough wiggle room to get around their goody-goody expectations. Sometimes, being a bit bad can be a lot of fun. Most people who've played Mario 64 are no doubt familiar with this one. On Cool Cool Mountain, you'll meet a mama penguin who's looking for her missing baby. Attempting to bring her screaming child down the mountain can be a huge pain, and it doesn't help that there's a decoy baby nearby just to confuse you. Needless to say, this ungrateful mama won't accept the alternate baby. Like it even matters, they look exactly the same, lady. If you get frustrated with this task, you may be inclined to yeet that baby right off the cliff. And you know what? I think that's okay. You won't get rewarded with a star, but you will be rewarded with the greatest gift of all, the silence of a child. Is that too dark? Stardew Valley is a charming little farming game inspired by Harvest Moon, and is mostly the creation of just one person, which is pretty impressive. Besides farming, you could mine for ores in the local cave, go fishing in the lake, or aggressively flirt with every single townsfolk that isn't already married, although the married folk do tolerate a lot. Robin, why is this new guy in town sleeping between us in our bed? Wasn't he digging through our trash and hitting on our teenage daughter earlier? That's all fine, I guess. When you say the right things, or present the right items to certain individuals, you'll grow your relationship with them via a heart score. When you get 10 hearts, you'll be able to propose marriage to them. However, before marriage, your relationship status doesn't really mean too much. Technically you could date, but nobody really acknowledges you're dating. Unless, of course, you happen to be dating everyone. That's when the long-suffering townsfolk of Stardew Valley finally draw the line. If you're dating all eligible bachelors or bachelorettes in town at the same time, a scene will trigger when you walk into the bar or Haley and Emily's house. You'll be called out for being a cheating polygamist son of a bitch, you'll lose all your hearts with everyone, and for a while after, you'll rightfully be the pariah of the whole town. But what if you like eating just the sample sizes and you don't want to ever pay for that frozen yogurt? Well, if you want no consequences for your sins, just keep a lucky rabbit's foot in your inventory. A different scene will trigger, where either the bachelors or the bachelorettes are like, "Hey bro, we're all here. Come do us all at the same time." No, they aren't that generous, but they are magically oblivious to your philandering, so, score. Sid Meier's Civilization VI is a strategy game where the goal is basically to conquer the world by developing a civilization from its prehistoric infancy and maturing it into a futuristic superpower. There's multiple goals to win the game, depending on how you want to play. You could be the first to the moon, or the first to dominate the other nations. Either way, it'll be hard to accomplish anything without powerful allies. You could befriend the leaders of other nations by offering them gifts or fighting on their behalf. Just like in the real world, though, political alliances can be very delicate and are prone to betrayals. Sometimes it makes sense to betray an ally if you suspect they were going to betray you first. But let me tell you, when an ally betrays you, completely wiping them off the map and getting that sweet, sweet vengeance is just so rewarding. Oh, don't act like you weren't going to betray me first, Trajan. I saw you moving your troops around my capital, you sneaky Roman son of a bitch. Mischief Makers on the Nintendo 64 is a thoroughly bizarre game in every way. From the main protagonist, who's a cyborg maid, which isn't entirely clear, to the denizens of the planet Clancer looking like Ghostface. It's a bit of a hidden gem, because despite its offbeat vibe and strange pacing, it's still a surprisingly fun platformer. Marina, the protagonist, has one primary move, and that's to pick up objects and shake them and toss them. You could use this move to attack enemies or solve puzzles, but also you could use this move on the helpless Ghostface citizens for the lulz. If you toss the citizens around enough, they'll start to cry. At this point I usually feel pretty guilty, but it's really hard to resist. I mean, they're just so shakeable and tossable. Also, most of them are just terrible and probably deserve it. Take for instance this level where this mom can't find her children. After retrieving all 3 of her brats, who do nothing to make your job easier by the way, the mom asks you to find her husband after solving a fairly difficult puzzle to get where he's at, and you drag him all the way back home just for him to lash out on his wife and basically say that he didn't want to be found. Hilarious, but what a deadbeat. So, whenever I'm shaking one of the Ghostface citizens, I try to remember that guy, and I think, they all probably deserve this. The officially licensed Phantom Menace game is not what you might expect, unless you expected a sandbox game that allows you to go on Grand Theft Auto-style homicidal murder sprees. Released alongside the movie in 1999 on the PS1 and PC, This game has virtually no restrictions on what you could do, and it seems pretty indifferent towards the player's manic killing sprees. In fact, it almost seems to encourage it. Between the Gungan children mocking you,
"You're so very ugly, Outlander!"
and there being virtually no consequences for your actions, it sure feels like the developers want you to slice down every man, woman, and youngling you can. In the Gungan City level, Qui-Gon even specifically tells you not to hurt the Gungans.
Do not hurt these Gungans.
Why would you even say that unless you wanted me to? So if you ever want to feel like Anakin in Episode 3, this is the game for you.
I sense that you look down upon them, but they are living beings nonetheless.
In Mega Man Legends, you search for an ancient fabled treasure on Cadillac's Island, while fighting off pirates who want the treasure for themselves. The main antagonists, the Tron family, have dozens of little robot minions working for them called servbots. When you blow up a tank or some other armored vehicle, a little servbot will stumble out of the wreckage and run for his life. You can just let them run away, they're harmless without their vehicles after all. Or, you could shoot them in the back to teach them a lesson. Should you feel bad for doing this? Maybe, but they did draw first blood. For those of you with real human friends, you've probably never played The Sims before. Just kidding. I know my audience doesn't have any friends, and I know you all play The Sims. Because this life simulator simulates life so well, naturally, there's all sorts of dark scenarios you could put your poor Sim through. Do you want to put your Sim in a bathroom with no toilets and watch him piss himself to death? How about having your Sim go swimming and then remove the pool ladder, trapping them in the pool forever? If you could think of a messed up scenario, there's a good chance you could live it in The Sims. Here's a maximum security prison I created just for one guy. This is Mark from work, and he constantly taps on his desk. Off to the gulag for you, Mark. Banjo-Kazooie is more than just a Mario 64 knockoff, and I would even say that it's the better game. In this game, a bear and a bird try to rescue another bear from a witch that only speaks in rhymes, and it's great. But Banjo and Kazooie wouldn't be able to get very far without the tutelage of Bottles the Mole, who teaches you basic moves at the beginning of the game. If you'd like to troll the mole, just reject his offer to train you, then keep speaking to him. Eventually, you'll get so fed up, you'll threaten to delete your save file. In the sequel game, Banjo-Tooie, he is shockingly killed early in the story by Gruntilda the Witch. He fills the same role in this game as the previous, but this time as a ghost. Poor guy can't catch a break. Scrapped from the final version of the game is a mode called Bottles Revenge, where Bottles finally has enough of Banjo and Kazooie and decides to attack them by possessing nearby enemies. And this whole chain of events started because you decided to be a dick to him in the first game. Was it worth it? Yeah. You all knew this one was coming. Yoshi made his first debut in Super Mario World for the Super Nintendo, and has been a friend of the Mario gang ever since. The lovable green dinosaur is sort of a power-up item, allowing you to ride him and take out enemies from a distance with his long tongue and fire-breathing abilities. Another way Yoshi is useful? Using him as leverage to jump higher, though this often means sacrificing your companion to reach a high place just out of reach. Does it feel good to throw your dinosaur pal under the bus? No, of course not. But if it comes down to me or him, you can bet I'm not going down with the ship. I don't care if that makes me a bad captain, or friend, or person. I'm not dying for a dinosaur. Well, that was my list of naughty things you could do in video games. If you know of any other naughty things I should have included, let me know in the comments section, and I may make a follow-up video. If you enjoyed this content, please subscribe to Wes Does Games. I look forward to seeing you all in the next video.